It's story time. We're gonna call this episode 1 of what could have been my origin story or my end. Alright, so the year was 1999? Maybe 2000s. Or 2000, year 2000. I was 13 or 14 years old. I can't quite remember exactly the timeline, but it's in there. I was dating a very nice guy. Really nice guy. Drug dealer. Mostly cannabis. A little bit LSD, a little bit of Molly. We were living in the Ritz Hotel in Victoria. Now, I tried to find photos of the inside of the Ritz Hotel. I can't find anything past, I believe, 1960. I'm going to try and find something out of a movie that compares to the horror that was the inside of the Ritz Hotel in 2000. I'm sure it's no better now. Yeah, I'm surprised it's still standing. I think it's still standing from the research that I did this morning. But so let me paint you a little picture. When you entered the Ritz Hotel, you entered into a foyer. There was a set of elevators. One elevator, two elevators. I can't remember right now. But there was definitely someone watching the elevator. You'd buzz, they'd check you out. I can't remember how they assessed how they were going to let you up. But they did, and you came up or not. So from there, really my memory is just dingy. It's just gross, dingy lit hallways with sketchy people, and often you didn't see anybody. The residents were very, very, very private. So this is where the bulk of my boyfriend's business took place. His clients would come in, they would buy usually weed, they would leave. It was pretty uneventful beyond how fucked up the inside of this place was. In addition to that, as far as I understood at the time, there was a crack or a meth lab in the basement. That was pretty well the whole function of the building at the time. Things were pretty uneventful most of the time, to be honest. As you know, when your clientele is generally only looking for cannabis, and that was at a time when it was still pretty illegal, it was people looking for medicine, particularly when the dealer was a good guy, which he was. We were just in a really not fucking okay spot. That's how it goes. That's how you do it. One day, towards the end of our stay at the Ritz Hotel, we knew that the American Navy was in town. When they were there, you knew. So, we'd had some come by. It was all pretty alright. A couple of days later, an officer shows up. So fucked up. He was, I don't know if he got into a fight or if he'd just come back from somewhere, but he was beat up so bad. Just from head to toe. Just visibly harmed in many ways. He had a crutch, he was limping. He was looking for some companionship. Word had gotten around that I was there, and being where I was, my age, and how I behaved, of course, it was assumed that I was a prostitute. So he came in looking to buy me. These things happen. It's how it goes. It took me a really long time to connect the fact that this was a very pivotal point in my life. Because the person that I was with did not sell me. That is not the way that conversation went down. And we moved out very shortly thereafter. I really understand how grateful I am, or rather, how lucky I am, that I chose to be around the people that I did, even in the incredibly high-risk environments that I was in. I cannot wait to try and show you the inside of this hotel. It is something out of a horror movie. This was a moment in time that I was treated properly in a real fucked up situation. And it helped form me. Just think. It's a split in the road. There's another universe. There's another dimension where that's not how the situation went down. And then there's not this fully formed, functioning human being sitting in front of you. I did, of course, go on to do sex work. I don't think I had by that point. Not really. But it was on my terms. This is the intro. This is the way in which I am choosing to introduce you to my story. This is not where my story began. My story began a lot earlier than this. So after we moved out of the Ritz, we moved into another building down the road, something Towers. I can't remember. I'll figure it out because it was only marginally better. I mean, it was definitely better. Better? No, it was definitely better. Yeah. I definitely also tried to get bought out of the elevator in that building. So only so much better. And then we went on to rent an absolutely fabulous house in an absolutely fabulous area. And the bottom floor was his grow operation, and the top floor was our wonderful, beautiful, safe living arrangements. So, how lucky for me. It's incredible how interesting situations find themselves to you. We were in that wonderful area that we were in. This was Victoria 2000, in around 2000, year 2000. We did experience being robbed at gunpoint in the Safeway down the road. She's lived a life. Maybe that's another story we'll talk about another time. It's story time. Alright, so we're gonna call this somewhere along the lines of episode 1 of what could have been my origin story or my end.